Aloha and good day, friends and yogis. My name is Nicole Spirit, and here we have the dream sign that I keep in the window. And this is the moment I call turning your dreams around. So welcome to a gentle yoga class. The dream sign just hit a little rose quartz heart. So why don't you get yourself comfortable on a yoga mat? We're gonna start seated. You can make your way down to the ground. And this is what I call getting the room ready. So we're gonna light a candle. And this is if you want to get some tea prepared, or you get your crystals ready. You get maybe your little bit of reading material for, let's go this way, for your meditation. But you don't have to worry about that today because I got you. Because I got this little cute book called I Love You by Swami Muktananda. So wherever you are, please find yourself comfortably seated. Get your sitting bones rooted and grounded into the yoga mat. And I'm going to gently read to you. Don't worry, it's just one little tiny page. Love is not something new which we have to acquire. It is a place in the heart within every one of us. It is the place of love. Isn't that lovely? So I thought I would have that as an offering today as well. I brought an amethyst egg to the party. It's got rainbows inside. So this is the idea that you are like an egg with your aura around you. And we can do so much healing inside of this egg or inside of our energy matrix. And then another crystal I brought, one more angelic type crystal. This is a beautiful white agate shaped as a heart, carved that way. So these are some offerings. If you have some favorite crystals, you can bring them to your practice, or you can gently absorb and enjoy the energy that these crystals are putting off. I also invite you to explore miracle bracelets. I make bracelets. You can find me on Facebook at Nicole Spirit. But any bracelets will do. Hopefully with some kind of precious energy to you. Maybe you made a little kid's bracelet with letters that spell L-O-V-E, love. And I like to jingle the bracelets. I like to kind of get excited and send out some wishes and prayers and some energy for myself, for you, for everyone else. And I love some of my favorite bead stores. Bead Town in Victoria, British Columbia, and you can order online. A+ Beads, all kinds of amazing places. Anyways, don't want to give all my secrets away, but one of my favorite charms is the heart with the angel wings, and that's my intention, to send energy from my heart to yours. So thank you for listening to this beautiful Babylon, when we bring ourselves back to a place where it feels like Eden, Babylon, feels like we're home, feels like we are with our favorite friends and family, our favorite animals. So today I have a little gift for you. It's a Yin Yoga practice. So we're just gonna explore a few poses and we're gonna do them really, really slowly. So to begin, we're going to bring our arms by our sides, and we're just going to start with 4 Ha breaths. We imagine angel wings floating up beside us, and on the exhale, let out that big, nice, long release. It's called the breath of life. And you imagine your butterfly, your dragonfly, your firefly. Imagine releasing and letting go of what no longer serves you. And yes, it's okay to have white after Labor Day. White wine, white yoga pants. I'm just joking. White clear water. So when you're finished for angel wings, we're going to gently start to extend our legs long. Notice the quality of your posture or your spine, and take a moment to keep that nice integrity in your danda. We're going to feel like there's a zipper doing up our core. You can bring your sitting bones behind you and notice this really lovely posture that you've created. We can bring the shoulders up, around and down, and keep that heart and chest and that courage open. Sit up nice and tall, and we're going to begin with a pose called half shoelace. And it's super fun, and you're going to feel this great, amazing stretch. Start by bringing your right foot and knee up. Sit nice and tall, and then take your leg and cross it over your left leg. Now, the goal is to get your foot as high up close to your hip as possible, but that will take a little bit of time. The main thing is get super comfortable here. Find that nice integrity in the core. Do up that imaginary zipper. It's called conception vessel in Chinese medicine. And then what we're going to do is gently start to lean forwards. If you need a miracle, give the bracelets a little shake and bring your hands down in front of you. Now, as soon as I feel this stretch, it's right up the back side of the left thigh, the hamstring area, and this is your stretch. So for Yin Yoga poses, we usually hold poses longer, maybe even 2 or 3 minutes, as much as 5 minutes depending on the pose. And what you're going to feel here is this energy of the body as you're reaching forward with the hands. You can decide if you want to keep the hands where they are or explore a little bit. Maybe walk yourself over to the left side, bringing both hands over, and just notice how that stretch changes a little bit in the back of your leg. And breathe. Maybe we continue to explore and find inner smile, inner Buddha nature. Wherever you are, you can bring your hands back to center. Maybe you explore to the right now. Start to walk yourself over to the right, and really it's so personal. Just getting that stretch into the part of the body that feels nicest for you. We can gently imagine being bathed with rose quartz hearts coming from our heart center, opening and releasing and relaxing here. Nice length in the spine, and using that front thigh to maybe even rest just a little bit. We're just going to hold for 2 more breaths. We ponder the white, beautiful agate, having these smooth lines and the energy of a gateway coming to a new place, a new portal, a new energy. Good. And then very gently, let's start to walk ourselves back up. Take a moment, sit up nice and tall, release your right leg out in front of you. You can rub your knees for a moment if that feels good. Keep that quality of your spine nice and tall. One of our most attractive features is self-love and a good posture. Bringing the left knee up now. See how this feels just to hug in that thigh towards your torso, towards your belly. Sit up nice and tall, and then start to explore the pose. You bring your foot over to the right side of your knee, and maybe it stays there, or walk it up a little bit towards your right hip. Try to keep both of your sitting bones grounded. Breathe. Nice, long, smooth breaths. Remember my protocol for free healthcare. Breathing, drinking more water or staying well hydrated. And the last one is vibrating more positively at your heart, your electromagnet. Now we're going to explore, if you haven't already, bringing your hands forward and just gently walking to a place where, I start to feel this amazing stretch up the whole back side of my right leg. So again, get cozy. Try to go into a place where you're not pushing to your maximum, but you're exploring, letting the body loosen and soften slowly. It takes a little bit longer for the tissues to relax and to release. And sometimes you'll also hear Yin described as restorative yoga. If you haven't already, maybe start to explore bringing both hands to one side and just walking over a little bit so that you feel that nice stretch, targeting a little bit different areas of your thigh. That hamstring muscle, big giant muscle up the back side of the leg. Then you can come back to forwards and maybe you try exploring bringing your hands to the other side. And you breathe and you smile. And we think about this concept called effortless effort, where we're not trying to force, we're just allowing. It's like a gentle unraveling. You had a blanket and it was all wound up, you gently let it go and open it up rather than forcing it somehow. So let's stay here for another couple breaths, really finding a place where you get that delicate but deep stretch up the back side of the right thigh. And you breathe. And the nice thing about restorative yoga is it reveals where our body might be holding some more tension from the inside out. Let's walk ourselves back up very gently and slowly. Take a moment to release that left leg long, and we're going to sit up comfortably with that nice tall spine. Maybe you bring your shoulders down and back. Notice that belly area isn't just dumping out. We've got this sense of really being engaged in our own torso. And just spend one more moment here enjoying this nice rebound effect. If you need to, you just lie down on the ground if you need a little bit more. Now we're going to explore butterfly pose. So bringing the feet together gently. And this might be somewhere where you want to bring some amethyst mats underneath the sides of your knees. I'm just joking about the amethyst part, but where you might want to consider bringing support underneath either your thighs or the knees, maybe some blocks, books, pillows, cushions. If you feel totally comfortable here, then that's great. I'm happy with that as well. And now again, we're going to adjust. I said amethyst pillows because of that sweet egg we've got here. And we're going to explore what's called Bada Konasana, or butterfly pose. The Sanskrit pronunciation means bound angle. You're creating these two triangles with your feet coming together. And this is a super excellent pose for men and women for reproductive health and wellness. All of this area down at the lower part of our torso. Just getting things rooted and grounded, feeling like we're supported by the earth. We can stay here or we can come forwards. So this is such a preferential thing. And if you're feeling like you need more today, you can extend and open both legs long into dragonfly pose or full open leg seated posture. And now I want you to just play with this. Explore bringing your hands to your feet, out in front of you, out to the sides. And I want you to find a place that feels nice. You might bend your elbows. You might stack your fists and gently even rest your forehead on your feet. Another variation is to have a block that is on your feet, and you can prop your body up that way. And breathe. And while we're here, just exploring really that allowing in the spine to let go and unravel naturally. So if you start to feel any pain or strain, back off a little bit, come to a place that feels really calming, but you're also noticing a gentle stretch. And maybe some revealing will happen as we work through things. If anything is ever terribly uncomfortable, change your position, alter something so that you feel more comfortable. For example, you might say, hey, I want to try having one leg extended, just to see what difference that would make. And you don't have to do this by any means, just giving you some options. Maybe you just try it. Hey, what would that feel like if I release my leg for a couple of moments? Now you're gonna get a big rounding in the low back here, so really try to lengthen through the spine in both directions. Maybe the arms reach out in front of you for a bit. And it's like you're reaching up through the crown of the head, sending the shoulders down, and then rooting down through your sitting bones here. Just to avoid that big, big, big curve in your low back, like this. You want to bring your chest forwards first, and your arms down in front of you. So if you're noticing this posture, that's okay, but it doesn't feel great to hold that for long. You just want to maybe reset, come back to center. Big inhale breath, hinge at the waist, at the hips. And again, just allowing for this nice stretch rather than any pushing or forcing or even anything painful. Good, now we're gonna gently walk ourselves back up. I'm gonna bring the crystal egg so that it's above my crown chakra. And I'm going to bring the agate at my feet, and we're gently now going to release down to the ground. So lower down as slowly and comfortably as you can. Make sure if you've lit any candles, they're not near your head or hair or near any plants. There we go. That should be okay. Don't want lily planty here getting too close to the leaves. Now I'm going to leave the rose quartz heart close by so that when we do our final meditation, we've got that. We can put it maybe on our heart or on our third eye or just hold it in our hands. The next thing we're going to do is gently draw the left knee in and up, give it a hug, give it a squeeze. And we're going to stay here for just a couple of moments and just check in with a few things. Bring your chin down a little closer to your chest. Gently settle the low back into the ground, and we're going to just give that left foot and ankle a circle 3 or 4 times in one direction. When you do this, open your toes, stretch and release through the parts right under your toes. Go the other way, 4 or 5 circles, and just really opening up that foot. Then you're going to gently point and flex through the foot. And our next Yin Yoga position is a spinal twist. So you can leave your right hand up on that left knee, float your left arm out to the side, and lift your hips a little bit to the left. Take a breath here, big inhale, and on the exhale, we're going to gently and slowly bring our right knee down towards the floor on the right. So left knee coming down to the right side with our right hand guiding the motion. And this is a good place to just check in. Make sure your left arm stays rooted and grounded, your shoulder blade, your scapula anchors to the floor, and we just hang out here for a little bit. We can explore with the neck, going a little bit deeper into the twist by looking over the left fingers, and use your exhale breath to explore changing your position. That's usually really good to kind of soften into things with that exhale breath. And this might be a place where you close your eyes and find that nice, long, smooth breath. And a super lovely thing to do is meditate and breathe while you're here. Again, backing off anywhere if it's too much, or if you feel like you could take things a little bit deeper, exploring that option as well. Maybe go a little bit further down to the right. Maybe you extend your right arm out long, and finding a place where you can really just breathe. If you have some inspiration, maybe you infuse your spine with a little bit of color and light. And I like to visualize a towel that's gotten wet. Maybe you're tie-dyeing the towel, but it's gotten wet, and we're going to gently, slowly wring out the towel and dry it off. And visualizing your spine as this beautiful inner entity, your magical inner pranic tube, your cord of electricity and magnetism that's connected out the top of your head and bottom of your spine to the sun and the middle of our earth, and you get to be this gentle child on the surface. Let's take one more breath here. Maybe we're smiling, maybe we're daydreaming, or in a place of meditation, mesmerization, and ever so gently, softly and slowly, we're going to come back up to center. Inhale, and then exhale to release your knee back up, right to the sky. Slowly bring your head back to center, and then we're going to just gently bring the hips to the right. Stay here for a moment, and then slowly release your left leg to the floor. This is a wonderful place to be. Just breathe. Notice, without judgment, what is happening on the left side of your body, especially around the hip area, and what's happening on the right. And this is this interesting thing where one side feels maybe like it's got more energy flowing, and one side might feel tight and stiff. So enjoying that release on the left, and let's bring that kindness, that mindfulness, that fierce compassion to the right side. So gently float your right knee in and up. This is the yang side of the body, or the more masculine aspect related to the sun. So we want to squeeze first into the knee and just feel this nice opening along the whole left side. Bring that pressure into the right side of the torso, and you might clasp your hands around your knee. Another way to do this is hands underneath the thigh, and you're still breathing, you're still in this cool, beautiful, mindful space. And then we're going to think about spinal twist here. So floating the right arm down to the floor now, getting it nice and supported, hearing your love charm gently jingle on the floor. And then we're going to take that left hand and ever so gently, big inhale breath, and then exhale to release the hip, the knee down to the left. I forgot that one little bit where you lift your hip a tiny bit to the right first. And then we're going to exhale and draw the knee over and down to the left. And when I don't pay attention, my right shoulder lifts up with me here. So taking a moment to come back a little bit and flatten out that right hand, your right shoulder blade back to the floor. And imagine an anchor. In the Russian gypsy cards, they say that an anchor has two meanings. One meaning is that it is very stable. It keeps your boat very secure and in place. But the other not so great or shadow meaning is that if the anchor is going down quickly to the bottom of the ocean, and let's say that's somebody having a really hard time, and we jump on that anchor, we might go right down to the bottom of the ocean with them. So just being careful about the anchor metaphor. The anchor can be very grounding, and it can also be limiting. So take a moment. I want you to just imagine the good use of the anchor with that right shoulder and arm on the ground. And if you haven't already, exploring to turn your head to the right on an exhale breath. And you might keep your chin nice and close to your chest. You might have your eyes closed. And let's spend the next few breaths just enjoying breathing into the spine. Maybe you examine it from the top to bottom. Visualize a towel being wrung out, or the way a rope curls around each other. Maybe even visualizing DNA and how its strands are spirals as well. And spirals are such an important motion in nature that describe the vortex of energy around our body, around our heart, around our cells, and even around this whole earth. Couple more breaths, finding that inner smile, your drishti, your inner gaze of contentment. And one of my favorite little sayings is, there is an infinite well of peace within me. The breath is long and smooth, and we gently allow for this big release to happen in the hip area, releasing low back and sciatic areas of the body. Good. And on our next 2 breaths, we'll come out of this pose as mindfully and gently as we came in. So take your time. Start to bring yourself back to center with the head, with the knee. Use your exhale breath to soften and loosen back into your original position. Take another breath, inhale, pause, and just have that right knee up for a couple more moments. And then on an exhale breath, we mindfully float that right leg to the floor. And let's enjoy the rebound. So breathing here mindfully, letting go, softening and loosening. Feeling our prana, our energy, our chi in our body. Feeling a flow, feeling an awakening. And in Qigong, the expression is magnetizing your chi. So imagining this life force that's going through our body. Like we're plugged in, we're turned on, and we're a blender making delicious smoothies or margaritas. No, I didn't say that. Smoothies. No triggers there. I just want to keep you happy, imagining you're a blender and all your functions are working. And we also know how to turn it off, clean it, and let it rest. I just used our food processor for making planta, vegan, veggie burgers. So that's probably why I'm thinking of the blender. Let's flip over now, very gently. Take a moment, wiggle yourself over to the side, and bring your whole body to face down on your mat. So we're going to finish off our practice in something called Tipsy Sphinx pose. So if you're up, you're already partway there. If you're flat on the floor, that's totally awesome. What we're going to do is gently slide our arms forwards so that our 2 forearms look like 2 parallel lines like train tracks, and our elbows arrive under our shoulders. Notice your posture in your spine here. If you're collapsing at all, that's okay, but take a moment to lift up and feel your whole pelvis root into the ground and this awakening, this alivening in your spine. And if you can imagine the Egyptian Sphinx having this regal presence about you. Now you can stay here. A variation I really love is to bring the right knee up and get that really good bend at your knee and at your hip. Again, please adjust accordingly. If you can't bring it up that high, that's totally fine. Just finding a place that feels good for you today. It's so nice to see I love you. I'm just gonna let that energy float towards me. Whoa, and there goes the amethyst egg rolling around. I mentioned there's a rainbow in it. That was so cool. Oh, it keeps going. Oh my God, it's coming back. I love it. Okay, while your right knee is up, maybe Spirit is here. My spirit guides have joined and said, this is a good class. Thanks for joining. I appreciate your time and energy. Spending a couple moments now, we're going to send energy into our right hip into our right kidney area. And we're going to just gently unravel a little bit of fear and anxiety from the body, sending love to our kidney, our right kidney, and also to the little adrenal hat sitting on top. And this is that place where you just breathe. If it's too much in the upper body, just lower down. Maybe across the arms, you come into alligator, upper body. Or another variation is just to send your arms a little bit forwards. Watch that posture again. If you totally sink down, that's not so good. Another variation is pushing the hands up into seal pose. This is going to feel pretty intense, so just notice where you're at today. Just giving you some variations if your Sphinx arms are not comfortable anymore. Take a moment now, gently release your right leg. If it wasn't up, that's fine too. And again, just be here for a moment with both legs straight and long. Smile, inner peace, inner calm. And then when you're ready, bring that left knee up to a comfortable place. And we're going to take a couple of minutes just to visualize and imagine that left kidney, that left area of the body under the ribs, the little adrenal sitting on your left kidney. And we replace fear with love, with courage, with vitality. So you might even say something like that. I choose courage. I choose zest and zeal for life. And notice we don't usually walk around saying, I choose fear. And if we do, that's a good way to maybe say, yeah, that's some old trauma response. It doesn't work anymore. Let's spend 2 more breaths here exploring that left kidney. Maybe you lift up into seal. If that's way too much, just keeping yourself in a place where you can feel relaxed, yet feeling an effortless effort to gently manage whatever is happening right now. Beautiful. Next breath, we're going to release that left knee slowly and softly. And now we're going to finish our practice in Shavasana. So this is where you can perhaps find a crystal, a bolster, a blanket, a pillow. If you haven't already, gently turn around. If you haven't already, lower down to the floor. Again, mind your candles. And I'm going to place this rose quartz heart right on my solar plexus. So you can place a crystal if you wish anywhere on your body. I tried on my chest and it started to fly up for obvious reasons. So let's leave the crystal. Another place is maybe third eye. That feels really good. And wherever you are, soften your gaze, close your eyes, and we're going to spend a few minutes just enjoying our final relaxation. No point doing this beautiful restorative class and then rushing out of it. So you might gently imagine your heart now and connecting with a wish or some love for our invisible connection to the sun. And they say that the sun, our solar sun, is the 8th star of the Pleiades constellation. The Pleiades, known as the Seven Sisters. It's a little pea. Looks like a little mini dipper or a little scooper cup. And it is located in the Taurus constellation, 400 light years from Earth. And it's believed that our DNA is even infused with Pleiadian DNA from our future. If you look up many ancient cultures on Earth, they had a deep reverence and respect for the Pleiades and that particular star group. Either way, connecting with the sun now, I want you to send the sun a little love. Thank the sun for being warming and our solar power, and for giving us the energy of how we feel on a warm, sunny day. If you need to adjust your crystals, I'm gently moving rose quartz heart down to my belly chakra now, the lower dantian. And as you send a message up through the electrical and magnetic cord of light, the pranic tube, all the way from the top of your head to the sun, gently imagine that I love you coming back from the sun in through this energetic connection right into your heart. And then ever so gently thinking about our earth being so content to be grounded and rooted on our planet Earth, and connecting to our Earth, Gaia, Spirit, the center of our planet, and hearing sounds that make you happy that you're an earthling, like a barking puppy or a crying baby. And remembering that noise is no barrier to meditation. And we simply say, I'm so grateful for my ears. So we can hear the rustling of leaves. And gently as we send a love note down through that energetic cord to the center of the earth, to the mother, this energy floats back up and comes right up into our heart. Like the earth is sending us a love note. I love you back. And we breathe. And we feel this connection of the earth and the sun at our own physical heart center. Imagining now we are in a crystal egg of light, just like an amethyst egg, or any crystal egg that you can imagine that is your highest vibration or frequency, your home base, your contentment, your connection with your inner child, as well as your higher wise self. And we gently learn to live from our now moment, from our heart. So we know we just breathe. We vibrate more positively at our heart center, our heart magnet. And then we learn to stay well hydrated with water and tea. Let's gently wiggle our fingers and toes, and we'll come back into our physical body now. Roll onto your side, whichever side is more comfortable, and spend a couple of moments in the fetal position. And I have a surprise for you for when you come up to your full seat. So go ahead and lift yourself up. Maybe you keep your eyes closed. And we open the door and we open our eyes and we enjoy that little thing called life, called puppies. Sit, sit, sit. Here's my surprise. It's Puppy Finn. Sit. Wait, wait. So wherever you are, bringing your hands together at the heart, and we dedicate the merits of our practice to all sentient beings. Sit. May we all be relieved of our suffering, and may we dwell together with great fruitfulness and harmony. The light in me greatly honors and sees the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you again. Find me at Yoga with Nicole Spirit and Patreon, Nicole Spirit.